Yeah, it's your host Reef with your host C. I want to welcome you to a new episode of the Real and Unapologetic podcast. Strap yourselves in because for the next 30 to 60 minutes, it's gonna be one hell of a ride. Yeah, I sound like motherfucker Prince. Yo, let's go. All right.
Coming at you all hard, yo. You ain't gotta be sweating.
Nah, you starting
Listen,
to
man, I'm not.
sweating? Act like you on the bike.
Listen,
Come on, man.
I'm not scared, man. I hope y'all prepared.
This is the one and only podcast where we talk about the topics that need to be talked about. We say the things that need to be said, the way they need to be said, and at the same time offer real solutions that just might change the way you're thinking and maybe change and bring some sense of some of the craziness that's going on in this world. So, prepare yourselves because we're going to be coming at you raw, hard, real, and unapologetic. Ladies and gentlemen, and podcast lovers, stand up and give a round of applause for your boys, Reef and C.
Well, folks, it's time to kick it old school.
Yo, we gotta find out if C's ready. Yo, C, you ready? Come on, C. I know I'm ready. C, you ready? Come on.
Yeah.
Cut.
Yeah. What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Real and Unapologetic podcast. I'm your host, Reef, and you got your boy, C.
What up?
And tonight, this is episode number 5. This is the old school versus the new school joint. And on this show, we don't tell you what you want to hear. We tell you definitely what you need to hear. Not through gossip, not through hearsay, not through he say, through she say, but the shit we say. Tonight, me and C is going to make up the old school team. And to you millennials, that doesn't mean, we washed up. We more like, traditionalists, more like that Ferrari 1962 GTO 250 that keeps appreciating over time. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to do a roll call. I'm going to start off with you, CJ. Tell us what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like on your pastime, at your hobby, and let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, man. So I'm Chad. Of course, I'm another member of the family, third C in the family. As far as pastime hobbies, it's a pastime hobby, but it's also something that I'm starting to redabble in. That's BMX.
Yes.
I've been doing BMX all my life. I loved it. Bike professionally, sponsored. Been on almost every major BMX website and magazine back in the day. Right now, as far as like an offspring, I started a brand called BMX Boys Club. It's a niche brand. What I do is post photos and do reviews of different like BMX parts. Give my honest opinion on it. Also too, if there's anybody out there that makes like any beats or any music, please hit me up in the email. I'm pretty fair with my rates. I can definitely use some beats and music as far as the videos that I edit. Also too, as far as a connection or another offspring of that brand, I have BMX Boys Club Daily. You can find all of these accounts on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter and YouTube. BMX Boys Club Daily. I repost the sickest BMX clips on the internet. I post 1 to 2 times daily. And then I just recently started a third account called BMX Boys Club Talk, where I do original interviews with pros. Also, I'm a photographer. You can follow me at Chad Fair, ChadPhaire, where I post monochrome photos. I'm working, man. I'm working, man.
All right, so next on the roll call, we got Paco.
I was born in Harlem, raised in Jersey, and I go to Howard, where I'm a junior. I study chemistry. I sometimes don't know why I picked it, but hey, it is what it is. And I'm going to start a YouTube channel I'm gonna start posting content next week. I do sneakers, I do gaming, and I just be talking sometimes. So that's a little bit about me.
No doubt. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're gonna start off with today's topic. You know, old school life versus the new school life, and this is to see. I'm asking see this. What do you think about old school?
It's a different dynamic now. I think old school we were a little more respectful. We were a little more compassionate. We thought things through. We had it's just a whole lot that the millennials didn't have that we had when we was kids. Like with us, we was like, "Ma, can I go outside? Ma, can I go outside? I want to go outside." And we'd be outside all day with our friends, hanging out, getting in trouble, only coming in when once it got darker, the sky got dark blue, and them street lights came on. That was the signal.
That was it. That was it.
A lot of these millennials, they inside all day.
All day.
Try to get them to come out. It's like, nah, I'm not really feeling that. It's too much going on out there. Or, I'm into this video game right now. I think a lot of the interaction with people got lost along the way. They're more used to texting, which I text now, but to me, it's just not an efficient way of communicating.
Definitely not.
If I pick up the phone, I'll be like, "Hey, yo, Paco, what's going on? How you doing?" I get instant feedback right back. But if I text that, "Yo, Paco, what's going on? What you doing?" Now I gotta sit here. Number one, hope he's holding his phone in his hand. Right. Now I gotta wait for a response. Texting to me is just not efficient, but they seem to thrive on it. Everything is a text.
Well, there's no connection. There's no connection, and that's
you don't get that face-to-face interaction to me, and I think you lose a lot when it's like that.
Let me, CJ. I'm gonna ask you what you think about the old school.
To be completely honest with you, I think old school was much more authentic. As far as the music, as far as I'll say somewhat the family structure. But as far as, always being outside, even though I am, I guess I would consider.
You probably
in the middle, right? You're in the middle.
I'm in the middle. So I had a little bit of both of the worlds. You know what I'm saying? I was outside, and then I also kind of grew into the age of the internet. But we got to be honest, because I feel, if Uncle Chad or you was around when the internet came, y'all would be inside too, because being outside just isn't a thing,
I don't know. I couldn't. Honestly,
let me tell you something. If you had a PS5, if you had an iPod, if you had an iPhone, you would be inside too, because that's the thing that everybody's doing. The hangout spot is online. There is no outside.
Yeah, but you lose the connection. Let me say it like this. We had let me tell you what we had. We had PlayStations, we had the Sony, Sony came out back then. We had the Nintendo, Atari. You had Commodore 64. You had all these things. There were games to play, but we still loved the connection with each other. You know what I'm saying? Just going around each other, seeing each other face to face. It was nothing like playing cops and robbers with your boy versus playing on a video game. You know what I'm saying? We used to run the streets for blocks, 10 blocks, running the streets, playing cops and robbers, everybody bringing out water guns. And I mean, it was fun, man. We had a lot of fun, which I see. The new school, you guys lack that fun as far as that fun activity, because you're closed in. You're just not really any fun, just playing in the closet. You know what I'm saying?
No, listen, man. I totally agree with you. I'm just saying, I think the reason why more so kids these days stay in the house is because of the progression of the internet.
Right. I see what you're saying. So let me ask Paco, what do you think about the old school versus the new school?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it $150. I feel like y'all is definitely like the tougher generation, because look, I don't know what happened, whether it was the internet. Everybody just seemed to turn into bitch ass niggas apparently. because I don't know what
That shit, that's
happened.
a shocker to hear.
It's like you roast somebody too hard, they run to the principal and like, this kid's bullying me, like all crying like a bitch and all that. And it's like,
Right.
normally it's like, I know Pops, you do this all the time. They teach you to play the dozens, and that's how you learn. It's like you get bullied, you fight back. But nowadays, like you can't even fight back because there's zero tolerance. It's like you throw hands with a bully, y'all both get suspended. So I think y'all was definitely
bullying for us, man, back then. Not to cut you off, but bullying for us back then, that was part of school. That was part of education.
Yeah,
That was part of the teaching, the toughen. That's what made us not run. That's why the kid, you see the kids in your class now, they run into the principal because they didn't have the bullies. We have bullies. You know what I'm saying? So that's what toughened everybody up. So that's why myself, your pops, I mean, that's why we walk around the way we do, like our balls is dragging. You know what I'm saying? When we walking, just to be real. Old school versus new school, just like everybody said, man, I just feel like the connection is gone. There's no more connection. You know what I'm saying? There's no more connection down to whether it's a girl, my daughters or my sons. They're just closed. They're like closed out. Like I said, they just, it's like being in a closet, man. You know what I mean? There's no life outside of that bedroom. There's no life outside of, and if they come into the living room, you happy to see them like they came 500 miles away. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, you came out the bedroom. Hey, I think just the connection is lost between old school, new school.
Another thing I noticed too is that, there was more family interaction back then.
Right.
Now, I didn't have the internet. So if I came across something that I didn't know about and I wanted to know about, I would have to go to one of my uncles. I have to go to my father. I have to go to my mother. But now they just go to the internet and they take advice from people that they don't even know.
Right.
Maybe in the chat room, they be the same age, or sometimes it be from a person younger than them. They want to talk about relationships and all of this. And I'm like, why are you asking somebody that you don't even know, you can't put a face to? Why are you asking them for advice? Like, you don't
like they got experience with it. No experience.
It's like they don't want to come to us. It's almost like, oh, you wouldn't understand. But I'm like, dude, everything you ever thought about doing, I already did.
Already been there, right?
But it's like they don't want to come to us. They rather take the advice. And I know sometimes it's rough going to a person face to face and maybe asking an awkward question or a tough question or whatnot. But I don't know. I'd rather do that, ask a tough question or be in an uncomfortable question or whatever, than to ask a stranger.
Right.
Well, that's what I consider these people online.
See, that's because they don't know how to form meaningful relationships. They don't know how to form, so that's why they go the internet. You're hiding. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying the closet because it's like you stay behind something. You don't got to be afraid. So all the fear that you have, you can hide behind it. Even if it's a girl you're approaching, you can hide behind it and be like, hey. You know what I'm saying? Hide behind and duck behind something and ask for her number without ever facing her to hit. And they don't like rejection. It's the fact of rejection, everything that comes with it. It's like when we seen CJ when he came on, we thought he was sweating all of it already. You know what I mean? Just
yo, but to be honest with you, I think that goes to my point. When I talk about technology just gave you an excuse not to be social.
Right. What? So you saying it? Did you? I mean, so this is real unapologetic. So you might hear a lot of cuss words, but you know what I mean. And fuck that generation up.
I mean, yeah. I mean, like when I speak about this, I'm just talking about in general. That in general,
right?
Yeah. It wasn't necessarily my life because just like I said, I bike and I also into photography. So even as a kid, I was always outside. Even today, I'm still always outside. But I'm just basically just giving you an example or a reason as to why there are so many kids that are just not social. Even to Uncle Chad's point when he said, yo, back in the day when I wanted to figure something out, I had to go to the library. And it's just like, you see what I'm talking about? The lack of technology made you have to go outside. You had to be social. You taking the time to get on the bus, then go to the library, talk to the librarian, look for a book that allowed you to have more interactions with people, more natural interactions with
Build
people.
your
But
confidence.
but because of the internet, you can find anything at the push of a button. You know, the library is right in your pocket, so there's no need to go outside. There's no need to be social. You get what I'm saying?
And I feel you. I definitely feel you. So let me ask you this: to help, what can be done? What you think?
I mean, to be honest with you, I feel, and this may sound crazy, you have to do without social media.
Right.
That's just my opinion, because you got to understand this is the computer age. You know what I'm saying? We are literally we literally live on or in artificial life. You know what I'm saying? The moment you
AI.
wake up, you go on social media. That's AI right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have the ability to post the things that you want to post and choose not to post. You know what I'm saying? You can literally create your own lifestyle on the internet.
Yeah, which is a bunch of bullshit, but I mean,
Yeah, no, it is. But you know what? We living in a fake world. This is a fake world, and I just feel
I'm with
like
you.
the further and further along that we get into technology, unless we, as you want to call us adults or parents, dealing with the children. You know what I'm saying? You have to step in and create that lifestyle, or at least make them aware. Like, yo, I know this is fun. You know what I'm saying? I know all your friends is on this. I know this seems real to you, reality, but in reality, it's not. Like, this is the world that we live in. You know what I'm saying? And you
Yeah.
gotta be honest with that. But I think you just need to kind of wean the children off of social media,
But how?
or at least create a different form of social media that caters to being social, if that's even possible. You know what I'm
But
saying?
let me
Because the
ask you
best
this.
way to be social is to actually be outside with people.
All right, no, I want to ask you this on while you're on that. So, what do you think? With Elon Musk being this mogul, what he wants to do is create a neural chip so that people can listen to Spotify in their brain. Real shit.
You want to know my honest opinion on that?
Yeah, give it. This is real unapologetic.
Listen, I don't trust any, even though I use it every day. It's just the world that we live in. A lot of times you just can't get away from it. It's just because we just been dropped into this new world. But to be honest with you, I don't trust any of that. I don't believe that the reasons as to why they want to put a chip in our head is the reason that they're saying. I believe they have motives that we
Your
may
motive,
not
right?
necessarily be aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that the effects that it's going to have on us is something that we're not going to see right away. It's going to be more so long term, and it's something that we're going to realize in the near future. Just like, point example, with social media, when it first happened, it was just like, oh wow, this is great. Like, I can connect with everybody, and then guess what? Now we're like 10 years ahead, and we realize nobody's social anymore. And I do believe that it's purposely designed to do that. And I believe that we need to look into the reasons as to why, they would create these things that would cause people to be so disconnected.
Just think about this. Think of the crazy paradox that this is. Now, humans by nature are social animals. Now you look at experiments they've done with wolf packs and other social animals. If you separate a wolf from his pack, he goes through almost a physical pain. It actually, he releases some of the chemicals that's showing that he's in pain because he's known this pack his whole life, and now he's separated from it. But think about this: our disconnection is self-imposed. That wolf was forcefully taken from the pack. We're doing this willingly. We're willingly separating ourselves from each other.
Self-inflicted pain.
That not only does it hurt, but that has to affect the mind. Because, like I said, it's nobody forcing you to do this. You're actually the one who's in control of whether or not you can interact with a person, but you're separating, you're doing it to yourself. It's like a self-isolation. And a lot of people can't see that. And if you took the rise of the internet on a graph and you put next to it the rise of depression and anxiety, they go up almost at the same curve.
Right.
the same curve. And scientifically, it's because the internet is addicting. It's like a drug.
Yeah, it releases
Like a
releases
drug.
that dopamine.
And that's what keeps people addicted, you know.
Right.
And right now, it's not even so much as a physical drug where you taking a pill or you injecting yourself with something. You know, it's just mental. You're doing something for something that's not physically there. You're doing something for likes. You know, oh, let me see how many likes I got today. I need that like. Let me get that like. You like the crackhead out there.
They are right. No, people. Yeah.
Likes. I gotta find a like. Let me get a like. Oh wait. Oh, I got a like. Oh, okay. I'm better now.
Yo, I absolutely agree with you, man. And I got to be honest, man. If this is real and unapologetic, I'm going to be real. You know,
Yeah.
I sometimes struggle with social media, man, because I'm just like, yo, like it also alters your decision making as far as like what you want to post, or like, I'll give you an example, like me being a photographer, right? Like I can kind of gauge what photos is going to do well on Instagram and what photos are not. And a lot of the times the photos that do well is actually photos that I don't necessarily care about, but it's just good for Instagram's algorithm, whether you know it has people in it, whether there's a girl in it, you know, whether there's a nice car in it, whether the angle's right, this, that, and the third. In reality, you know, it literally can alter your decisions.
Oh,
You
that's
know what I'm
what it's
saying?
doing.
There's been plenty of times where I'm just like, yo, like I love this photo. I love this photo, but I know it's only gonna get like 100 likes. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like,
Right.
a lot of the times, and I also sometimes struggle with this. It's just like, yo, you got to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because what ends up happening is you allowing the robot to control you when you need to be controlling a robot. Every morning when I wake up, I pray, and then I go to social media. I look on my Instagram, I check my emails, check the Twitter, check the YouTube. And it's just like a lot of times it can seem very crazy, and it is, you know, but this is just the world that we live in. You know, where, you know, if you're into the moon and the stars and the whole cosmic history and everything like that, like we are in the age of information, and this is just the timing for it, you know?
Yeah, but you can pull away from it though. There's definitely
Oh, absolutely.
they give you. I mean,
It's habit. It's habit.
yeah, it's habit. Just so you created a habit and informed a habit, and boom, and you sticking with it. You can switch it up because, like, even on mine, it's 50, I got it set for 15 minutes, so it shuts down after 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It shuts down Facebook and Instagram after 15 minutes. So I can spend like 3 minutes here, 4 minutes here, then it'll shut down, and then it'll pop up and go, "Do you want another minute?" You know, or add another 15 minutes. So that's where you see the addiction, where you be like, yo, let me get another hit. So they're causing people to be addicted to this shit.
They're
definitely causing you to be addicted, but that's we have to like I said, we got to gain control back over that, man. But I want to go into and ask Paco this right here. So is it real, the rise of the internet and the rise in depression and anxiety and youth, is that real?
Absolutely. Because if you think about it, it's like with social media, it makes people so desperate for the approval of other people. Like, it's like you want to do this. It's like, oh, I got to get 700 likes on this post. And it makes people so desperate that when you're calculating everything that you do based on how other people feel, that shit fucks you up mentally. Like, that takes a toll. And it's just like, also you got clout chasers, people who would literally sell their soul for like 5 seconds on a McDonald's commercial. It's like, that's just how it is. People just, that just causes so much anxiety, and it could fuck someone up mentally.
I don't talk to my family.
Why not?
They're irrelevant.
They're irrelevant?
None of them have followers. If they got followers or got rich, I'd probably talk to them again.
Now, hang on a minute. Did you just say I don't talk to my family because they don't have followers?
It's definitely fucking people up mentally, man.
You know, and let me just throw this in there. But with the internet, you know, and I can see where the depression comes in, because it seems like no matter where you turn, somebody's living the life that you want to live. Whether it's they showing off the car they supposedly have, they're showing
Right.
off the girl they supposedly have,
Right.
showing off the money they supposedly have. Nobody
Want you to laugh. That's right.
if you look at 1,000 posts, probably 990 of them are all going to be positive. You're never going to see anybody on there talking about, yo, I had a rough day today. This happened to me. The lights got cut off, and you don't see nobody living worse than you. You always see people living above you, and you like, even though your life is good, you looking at all this, and you like, yo, why I'm not living like that? Why can't I have that? I mean, how you get that car? You the same age as me.
It's still images, man, that they love you.
It's mine. I want mine, and I want it now. You know, it seriously causes depression, and people will say, "But no, all you see is good." Yeah, but seeing too much good can be depressing.
It makes you feel bad. You know what I'm saying? Seeing other people succeed.
It's interesting because if you just look at the time that has passed, from when you were a kid, from when I were a kid, and to now, little C. It's almost like we was conditioned to be right here at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like the social place to be was at the park and at the basketball court. And then it's just like once Sega and Nintendo came in, that is what conditioned everybody to come inside and play on this console. And then now when you fast forward, now everybody's inside on one console with everybody else in this internet world. You get what I'm saying? Right. It's almost like we were literally conditioned all the way up until this point.
Well, that's why, man, you have to, like what I talk about sometimes when I'm on social media, the reason I use it, man, is to motivate people, to let them know to escape. You got to find an escape route out of their system. Their system is not made to help you improve or anything. Their system is made to keep you as a slave worker, to have a slave mentality. You know what I'm saying? And see, I heard this from you. There's only 3 people that take orders, and I love that, is a slave, a prisoner, and a soldier. So at the end of the day, that's how they want to keep you structured, is to have mind control. That's why they want to do those chips. That's why, the whole thing with Zoom, at first it's a product that's made, it's a positive product. It's made to have people connect, but at the end of the day, it's like, damn, they see the loophole in where they can go, oh shit, we can just use this, keep them, we can shut down a brick and mortar, keep everybody working from home, use their internet, pay them a little part, keep, and it's fucking the society up, man. Even though people feel like, oh, it's getting better, it's not. It's not gonna get any better, man. And I don't want us to go downhill. So what I want to do is, who had the better music, old school or new school? And first, I'm gonna ask Paco.
All right, so I mean, the thing about music, it's like subjective. So each generation is gonna have their own thing. But honestly, 90s, 2000s music, because y'all had Outkast, y'all had Tupac, y'all had Biggie. Like, I honestly, besides Kendrick Lamar and probably a couple other people, I don't think any other artist compares to what those guys did back in y'all generation.
Right, we had people who read books. You know what I mean? They read. You could tell through their music that they actually read books, because just the way that, they wrote real lyrics. I mean, and I don't really listen to anybody except artists from the 90s and 2000s. I don't know any of these new artists, man. Everybody sounds actually the same to me, So
yeah.
See what you think about it. Old school versus new school.
And yo, I am a hip hop fan. All right, true blue. But yo, and I've tried. I cannot get with this mumble rap, man. And it's like, yo, is it just me, or does everybody today sound the same? Everybody sounds the same. It's like no lyric. If the lyrics are real simple, I mean, and it's mostly, think about it, it's just all beats. And then plus the fact that now everybody's streaming music, it changed the whole dynamic. And when I say it's changed the whole dynamic, Back then, you go to the club, yo, you get a Biggie song going, yo, everybody in the club is up, everybody's dancing. You can play that Biggie song for 12 minutes. You can play that Biggie song forever. But now, since everybody's streaming, they're doing it, they want to get more streams. So the only way to get more streams is to shorten your music. So now everybody got these little 1 minute, 30-second songs, 2-minute songs. Yo, back then, 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Right.
What was the average jam? Now you got, because they want to get more streams, they cut everything to 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes. Come on, what can you get across, you know, beat-wise, lyric-wise? After 2 minutes, you might have just hit 16 bars in that 2 minutes. And that's it. Come on. Where's the rest?
Right. Definitely. CJ, what you think? Old school versus new school music?
No, I'll say this. Like I enjoy old school music, mid school music. You know what I'm saying? I can understand why some of the younger crowd like the newer music. You know,
explain, please.
Now, let me tell you, like it sounds fun. You know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like the young thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm going to be honest about it, we have to look at why the music is why it is now. And when I think about the music industry, you know, I feel like the music industry stopped signing talent in the 90s. And everything that we hear now is manufactured. Point example, look at somebody like Cardi B. Cardi B is a rapper, okay? She is famous for her rapping, and she even admit she doesn't write her own music. Okay, so if she doesn't write her own music, who's writing it for her? And if that's the case, why did the music industry even decide to put her in the music industry to begin with? So that tells you right there that they are manufacturing this music. And then when you look at the music today, it's nothing, it's just negative. You know what I'm saying? You got these young kids out here, 15 and in their 20s, that's just swinging around rocket launches, bazookas, all type of crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm going to be honest about it, when you look at them, they look like minstrel shows. They look like minstrel shows, straight up and down. You know what I'm saying? So if you ask me, I think a lot of these artists that's signed to these labels is specifically to kind of blemish the image of Black Americans.
Right.
That's what I think.
I agree with that, CJ, because if you look at it, when we was coming up, you had a couple of guys that you knew who was straight up gangster, and you knew, I ain't messing with him. What was that cat's name in the corner? Omar. Here come Omar, and the whole block clear. Yeah, we have one or two cats like that, but if you go by what they projected in the music today, everybody's a gangster.
Back then, we were
come out the womb as a gangster.
Right.
You know, that is not the case. You know, cats and these cats are not tough today. They project that they all tough. They on tough on a Zoom like this in front of the camera, but you put them in the room with some real shit, some shit like we came up with.
Right.
Please.
Nah, they running. They're gonna fret. They're gonna run.
More everything.
Definitely.
I absolutely agree, man. And it's just like, again, when you look at the music, a lot of these rappers do now is just reinforce negative stereotypes of Black folks. That's all they do now.
So how is it fun though? How is it fun? You said it was fun. Like you.
No. What I'm saying is, if I'm going to be honest about it, I mean, I like some nigga shit sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
It's cool.
Bro,
it's real and unapologetic. That's when you
exactly. Like you can't tell me that you ain't like New Jack City. That was some nigga shit.
It was some nigga shit. I'm with you on it.
Exactly. If we gonna be honest, let's be honest. Yes, it's some nigga shit. Can I enjoy some of it?
Some of it.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? But back to what I was saying, back to my point, you know, I don't think, you know, it's just a coincidence that, you know, in hip hop, it was cool to be pro-Black. And then from pro-black, it was cool to be a gangster. And then from a gangster, it was cool to be a drug dealer. And from a drug dealer, now it's cool to be an addict. I don't think that was a coincidence.
Nah, that was what do you prefab? That was like the prefab homes they just bring on the trailers. That was prefabricated. You know what I'm saying? They brought that and delivered it just like they delivered the crack epidemic. And this is why, as black people, as blacks, we own that shit. We gotta stop. We have to change it, man. We gotta change the narrative. And if not, they're gonna keep fucking us, and we're gonna keep complaining. It's not everybody, you know what I mean? Not all of us, because some of us escape and found that escape route and get out and be like, man, fuck that. I'm not dealing with that corporate shit. You keep that shit. And you know, but at the end of the day, we cannot go by their prefab homes, man. We can't go by that prefab, that makeup, that prefab music, that prefab shit. It's not for us. We're very unique. They keep us. What they do with this shit, man, is keep us. We're animals. Me is real unapologetic. We would take over the fucking world. Real shit. Because we're very aggressive. We're strong. I mean, we dominate shit. So they have to keep us fucking in a box. They got to keep us in a box. You know what I'm saying? As long as they keep us in a box, they feel safe. That's their safe. Like, hey, they're in the fucking box. We're good. Keep them, keep them fed. Keep feeding them, and that's what they keep doing. Keep feeding us with the bullshit. And like I said, man, that's how they stay ahead. If we break out and escape from this shit, we'll see a change. We'll see a difference. But we stay hooked up on their fucking apps. We gotta listen. And this is how it starts: is by speaking out, talking, being on Real Unapologetic, saying the fucking facts. So, real shit, man. So, anybody else want to, before we get out of this and go into the next segment, you want to say something else?
Yeah, no, I basically agree with what you and CJ said, but just to play devil's advocate, okay? Hip hop, as far as sales and as far as the clout that it has, would not be where it is unless you had white suburban kids buying it. We would not be selling millions and millions of records or millions and millions of streams if these white kids out in the suburbs ain't attaching themselves to it. So if it's prefab, why are they packaging it so that they can put this out there for the suburban kids who's supposed to be safe and protected to start adopting some of the attitudes and the stuff that they see on these videos and all of that?
They didn't want that to happen. They didn't plan it. If you ever seen CB4, CB4 was a perfect scenario. Just the way the makeup of the movie. They became hip hop artists. The senator, he was running for a mayor, and his son started listening to CB4, and he was like, "What the fuck?" So he used that as part of his campaign to say we shutting this shit down because it was to hurt us. And it started affecting their kids. And that's the same way, man. That's why it's this.
Yeah, but see, that's my point. They know it now. They know that all of this is negative stereotypes, and these white suburban kids are coming home and shit with teardrop tattoos on their eyes. They know it now, but how come they're not pulling it back?
What I'm saying is, who was doing all that fucking scissor? First, it was them white suburban kids was doing all them drugs. We wasn't doing all that shit first. It wasn't us.
And you want to know what's funny? I just want to piggyback off of what you and C said. I know when we first had this conversation about the difference between new school and old school music, and then you said that, you don't know any of these new rappers that's out, right?
Right.
That's what you said. And that's a common thing amongst other black folks. A lot of black folks don't know a lot of these new rappers. There's a lot of rappers that I don't know. There's a lot of rappers that the older crowd, they don't know. When you in the hood, like when you in Harlem or Brooklyn, you don't hear none of this Young Thug music. You don't hear none of that. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's a common thing. But you want to know what's real interesting. And when you also said that it's these white kids that's doing the drugs, you're absolutely right. And when you look at the music, right, you notice that a lot of the new rappers these days is they really kind of steered into that punk rock kind of era. You know what I'm saying? When you see them wearing the diamond chokers and the tight jeans and everything like that. The crazy thing is, like, when you look at these rappers and when you look at, let's just say, like their blogs or something like that, and when you see them perform at these concerts, they're a sea of white folks at these concerts. So they're making this music that's catering to them. That's not really catering to us, even though it's a terrible, a stereotypical image of us. You know what I'm saying? It's still doing us harm, but we're not the ones that's really buying that music, and we're not the ones that's going to those concerts. Because I don't never hear no Young Thug when I'm in home. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Right. Nah, real shit. That's yo, I'm glad you that was great right there when you said the rock, you know, the way that the rappers are dressing now, the way that they're performing is just like how the rock shows used to be. You know what I'm saying? With the fucking out the drugs, the fucking crazy chicks biting chicken shit, and you know, wild, just wilding shit, jumping in the crowd. And we ain't never did all that shit. That wasn't our shit.
Absolutely, and don't get me wrong, I do understand rap history and hip hop, and I do know that Run DMC did a collaboration. What was it? The Rolling Stones or something like that.
Yeah,
Walk This Way. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But exactly. But the difference is that they still stayed hip hop.
Right.
And Rolling Stones still stayed rock and roll. But the thing is that now the two has combined.
Well, the reason why they combined,
that's the real difference.
Right. You can say they combined from some unified shit, but it's bullshit. Is because the kids that are coming up now, they, like you said, they're easily influenced, so they just roll off with the next shit. Oh, we doing that? Fuck it, let's blend this shit together and do some. That's how we were never like that. Hip hop was hip hop, rock was rock, R&B was R&B. Now they, even when you listen to the fucking R&B, it's tied into hip hop, and that's not the same shit.
Now they got country rap. Come on,
right? That's what I mean. It was they never had all that shit. It was country. It was fucking hip hop. It was rap. I mean, everything was like, I told me and C talked about this segregation. I was like, yo, it was funny. It's funny. It's not what we want to bring back, but we have to have separation of shit, man. There needs to be a separation. That's why men are starting to look, and I'm gonna get off subject a little bit with this, but men are okay with looking like girls wearing lipstick. These dudes weren't running around long dresses because they're fucking blending everything together. You know what I'm saying?
Wearing nail polish in there.
Like, even the bathrooms, they got the fucking bathroom where it's a man and a woman. You don't even have a separate bathroom no more.
Exactly. You know, everything that trends is always out of what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? It's always outside of our best interest. So we need to look into that.
Right. No doubt. All right. So that's it. So who had the better music? We're going to say old school one on that one. We're going to say old school.
Old school all day.
Old school.
Now, hold on.
Old school all day. You know that, CJ. You can't play one art. Name two artists. Just give me two artist names that are hot, that you'll be like, yo, you'll compare them to right now in this era. You'll compare them to a Pac and a Jay.
No, I wouldn't. My argument was, I think, in my opinion, I like mid-school music more so than the old school music. Like when y'all say old school music,
you saying,
like who y'all talking
about?
Y'all talking about like Run DMC and all of that?
I'm talking about anything from the 80s to the 90s.
Okay, because I respect it, but I ain't co-signing it. but I like more so like 90s. Like 90s hip hop.
90s, right. That's what I'm talking about. 90s, that 80s to the 90s old school hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Even R&B, man, even R&B. And if I had to listen to music in this era, I would choose the R&B over the hip hop now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 'Cause I don't know any of their like I said, real shit. I don't, Little Uzi, Little Doo-Wop, Little fuck, everybody got a little name. What the fuck is wrong with that, man? Yeah. With the little name. Yeah.
I agree, man. It's all psychology, man. It makes you feel like a little kid. It keeps you in a child state, always needing somebody.
Right, there you go. That's why this is really unapologetic, because you're gonna hear the truth, and that's real shit right there, man. So I'm gonna start with young man on dating. So women and dating, old school. What's your perspective on dating?
Ooh. You see, I'm not gonna give all my secrets now.
When somebody start off,
don't hurt him, man. Don't give him.
Yeah, all I'm not gonna give it the whole game. It's like,
don't give us all the game. Don't give us all the game.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spill all the secrets, but like honestly, like before, I was like really into the idea of a relationship, but now it's kind of just like, okay, first of all, a relationship in college is kind of overrated, because for me at least, I don't know about other people, it's like Howard. Almost everybody on Howard's campus can be a model. Like you'll be walking past and you'll just see everybody is just fine. Like all these fine women, I don't know what to do. So it's just like, honestly, I'm not saying I'm not going to settle down. Like who knows? It may take
you focus right now,
right woman, but like now it just seems like dating is just, I don't know. It's for like probably later years, not when you're in college. That's all I would say.
Right, real. Now you focus. That's it. You got your focal. You got your blinders on. Pops is right there. You can't give too much away.
I can't.
I should have.
Unapologetic.
Yeah, but he knows like real ass with on the other side of the.
I'm a slip up and then like, guess who's not getting none? You, nigga. I don't want that to happen. So.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's you gotta. Yeah, but see, that's you know, he couldn't, and he's in Howard. You know already. I've been to Howard. I've been out there, man. If the parties is ridiculous, but you know, we're gonna let Paco. You know, that's his answer. We're gonna let him slide. Since Papa C is at the top right there, just
he out the game. He could say whatever he wants.
All right, hey CJ. So, what's your perspective, man, on dating, man, in this era?
Yeah, it's changed, man. You know, it was a little bit more normal for me because I just, like I said, I kind of grew into the whole technology thing. You know, back in the day, it's just like, yo, you be at school, see a little shorty, you like, okay, well, I'm gonna go sit next to her and at lunch, or you know what class she take? I'm gonna go take her class. I know I ain't interested in sewing no clothes, but you know what? I'm about to go take that class. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then it kind of transitions to like when you was out of school, it's just like, oh, you see a nice little shorty out in the street, let me go run up to and holler at her. You know what I'm saying? But the interesting part was, you know, the transition where you couldn't do that no more. You couldn't just run up on a shorty outside and just holler at her. You know, that actually changed to you actually kind of being a creep in some cases. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, nah, you got to do things a lot different now. It's just like now, as far as like relationships and everything like that, or trying to find somebody, it's just like you got to kind of like do that thing like on the internet now. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, you see somebody, oh, what's your Instagram? Okay, bang, 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 and then that's how you stay connected. You know what I'm saying? But you know. It's just real interesting. It's just like back in the day, you used to be able to get the numbers and call a little shorty up and stuff like that. But it's just like that's kind of like a reach. Like, don't you ever call nobody? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just shit. Yo, you doing too much now. You
right,
know what I'm saying?
But you were sliding. The new shit y'all could do is slide in the DMs and all that. And that's, to me, that's more creepy than walking up to her and asking her for a number. You know what I'm saying? To slide in, she's cool with the slide in the DM, but she's not cool with you walking up saying how you doing. You know, I mean, I feel for you guys, man, in this era, because I was married for a while, and then I got divorced, man, and then I was dating. And women, man, it's shit is young. I feel bad for this era, man.
Really, you don't even have to like go up to shorties anymore. Like, look, there's this beautiful thing they got. It's called Tinder. Nah, but it's for real though. That joint, it's like that joint is like, because when I be at college, that joint be a signal booster. Like some shorties you don't even see on campus, they on the app and all you gotta do is swipe right and it's easy. Like,
so that's honest, you just did a commercial for Tinder for right. He just did the commercial like, hey, they on the app, it's easy, swipe right and it's right there, boom. You know, room 204, whatever. No,
but you know what's funny? It just goes back into, you know, the previous conversation. It's just like there's no social activities anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everything has to be digital. You know what I'm saying? Because anything outside of that is just too much. It's too much.
But it takes away the fun with the date. Back in the days, we courted. You know what I'm saying? The dating, it was fun, man. To play that game where you hit her up, you call her, you go stand outside our house, y'all talk till about 2 in the morning, you know what I'm saying? And just that whole freaking experience is what's fun. You know what I'm saying? Now, that swipe right, swipe left shit is, what the fuck is that?
It's fun, man.
You can't even call yourself like, I don't even call the cats in this era. There's no player. No, back in the days, you had to have game. You don't even have to have game no more.
Yeah.
You don't have to have game. So it took away. That's why I don't even get these cats when they like, you get a kid, oh yeah, I'm gonna play. No, you're not, man. You got 3 apps.
You know what's the new game? You know what's the new game?
What?
Having a cool social media with thousands of followers. That's the new game. That's clout.
So that's the clout.
That's the clout.
And they don't even realize they motherfuckers is buying that shit. You got You got all these shits where these motherfuckers get 20,000 followers and he's buying them up, and it's crazy, man. But I mean, listen, I get it, man. I know that everything has to evolve and everything has to change, and if it doesn't grow, it's dying. You know what I'm saying? So it has to grow.
But you giving up through the evolution, though.
Right, you're
supposed to grow through evolution.
Evolution, right?
Giving up. You cats don't even have the gift of gab no more. All they do.
That's what I'm saying.
Swipe left, swipe right. Oh, she liked me back. Then that must mean we compatible. Again, just like CJ said, you letting the robot control what relationships you trying to dive into now. Because now this chick that didn't swipe you back in the day, that's where you would be like, yo, come on, just give me a shot.
Right. You had to push up on it.
It built up your confidence. It built up your confidence.
That's where you learned. You got the confidence in it. But now you sitting there, okay, I don't even know how the dynamic. What is it? If you like a person, you swipe what, Pop?
Swipe right.
Right.
Swipe right.
Or if you're real sick, you could swipe up and it's a super like, but niggas don't do that. You just
So, but now you swipe right and then hope that she swipe right too, and you sitting there waiting when it's 50 other honeys that you could have just walked up to.
Right.
And you missed that interaction, and that's what I'm saying. Now the girl done swipe right, so now y'all, I guess, connected or whatever. But more than likely, y'all ain't even going to FaceTime. Y'all ain't even going to talk on the phone. Y'all going to be texting back and forth. And
you're not really getting to know nobody.
80% of communication is non-verbal. It's based on body language, facial expressions, posture, all of that. So you could be talking to a honey and she texting you, oh yeah, you so cute. I really think this. I really want to talk to you. I think we got so much in common. But her face is like this.
Right. You don't even know.
This nigga ain't got a chance, but she just pumping you up.
Pumping you up like a Reebok.
Walk up to a honey, you talk to her, and you might, yo, she's fine, she's bad. And then you walk up to her and talk to her, and her posture or whatever gives you a cue and be like, nah. That's all right.
The walk is off. Her walk, she got the fucked up walk. You like, I ain't fucking with her. But you swipe it. In the picture, she look like this. Motherfucker just still like good as shit.
She's sitting there boosting you up, but at the same time laughing at you. Look at this nigga's hairline. You see this shit? He got the fucking nerve to be testing me. Oh shit! Look at this shit. Come on. You can't see her face or nothing. So you just like, oh yeah, she like me. I'm in there, yo. I'm in there. But she like this with her friends. Right.
I agree, and you know what we're articulating right now, that how much the internet has just made us so debilitated, and like it's turned us into emotionless robots.
Right. That's all right. I'm glad you said that. Stay right there, because that's what brings us. What happened to the code? Because that emotional shit. That's why cats are snitching now. That's why there's no loyalty. That's why there's no confidence. That's why there's no the low self-esteems are going on. The depression. That's because a robot has none of those. A robot doesn't know how to, through those emotions, doesn't know how to communicate through those things. So what happened to the code, man? See what happened to the code.
Somewhere the code got lost in translation, yo. It's like, because like we were talking about before, if you was doing your thing in the streets, it was a code. You don't, number one, if you was messing around, if you was a stick up kid or whatever, you ain't stick up nobody in your neighborhood.
Right.
That was your hood. If you had a beef with somebody, y'all two either got together and handled the beef with your crews. And your crew be like, yo, I'm just here to make sure he don't get jumped, Right. But now if there was kids in the street and y'all was getting ready to have beef with another crew, yo, no, we can't do this in front of the kids. You know, old ladies and old women and old people, absolutely not. Out of the question. And when a cat did mess around, and it was usually a crackhead or some other type of drug addict that would fuck with the old people, they caught the beat down from the hood. Because that was you fucked up the code. You're not supposed to mess with old people and kids.
Right.
You know, so you caught the beat down from the hood back then. But now, yo, cats is posting videos and yo, I this shit just blows my mind. Where they fighting women like they would fight a dude.
So they posting videos like that?
They posting videos where cats is just punching women and fighting women one-on-one. I'm like, dude, come on. Even if a woman came at me back in the day, you know, all I'm gonna do is try and restrain her. That's it.
Right. Yeah.
Swinging. Wow.
Yeah. Grab her arms and put. That's it. Right.
And another thing, I don't know about you, Reef, but coming up, the only people I called nigga back in the day was another dude. I ain't never called a girl. I ain't never called a girl. What's up, my nigga?
I don't even call. I'm gonna be real, man, and tell you, the girls I date, I don't even let them say bro to me, nigger. Yo, I'll check them quick. I'll be like, yo, what I told you about that? They be like, oh, I know. I'll be like, yo, bro, nigga, none of that coming from you. I said, you are a lady. I'm gonna talk to you. I want you to represent yourself like a woman, so I can relate and talk to you like a woman. You can't start talking to me like you're a dude. But that's where it goes into every fucking thing blending, man.
Yeah, but you see it all the time now. Cats is talking to them. You see them, they be talking to their girl or whatever, and they yo, my nigga, what's up? We going out? I'm like,
bugging.
Is he talking to another dude?
Nah, they bugging.
Nigga, come here, my nigga. Everything out of their mouth is my nigga, my nigga, my nigga. Yo, my nigga, you looking fine. That shit don't even sound right.
Right.
Takes pause like this.
That shit don't even sound right.
TJ, what you think about? I mean, being that you in the middle, so I can't call you a millennial. You know, you're not a traditional. I mean, you're just like in the middle. So, what do you think with the code, man? What do you think about the code?
I mean, to be honest with you, I feel like it's a lack of guidance. Also, in some ways, a lack of education. You know, a lot of the times what we don't realize is that when somebody doesn't have the ability to communicate, they act out emotionally and physically.
Physically, right.
You know, that basically compensate for them not being able to articulate themselves or explain themselves.
Right.
You know, I also feel that, you know, a lot of what, you know, we're seeing now, especially with children, what children are going through now is just things that has happened over time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think there was a lot of like little intricate details that we missed on the way to getting to now, 2021, that has affected a lot of kids and even, you know, mid-school kids, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, you know, if I just think of like maybe one thing, you know, when you look at that George Bush did that No Child Left Behind Act, are you like aware of that?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about that is that whether you passed or not, you was graduating to the next level. Whether you did all your work, whether you understood the work, regardless, you were getting passed up regardless. You know what I'm saying? And that has had a profound effect on a lot of kids and a lot of Black kids too, because now it's just like they just graduated a whole bunch of kids that were just not ready for the world, didn't understand simple mathematics, or was even had the ability to read. And because of that, some of those kids have had children and they pass down what all they know. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got the blind leading the blind. Exactly.
Right. Domino effect.
That's just one instance, but that's just the first thing that popped.
But that's, you know what, on the money with that, man. I got to agree with that. Parenting, you know, definitely everything that's affecting everything is the environment, and parenting is definitely affecting their way to communicate. And so they lack communication, how to communicate, how to talk to a woman and say, hey, how you doing? So they're used to talking to their boy, saying nigga. So they just, hey, nigga. And To me, man, I mean, real and unapologetic, man, it's a cop out because if you can learn how to sell drugs, you get out there and learn how to sell drugs, you can learn how to talk to that woman. You
But
can
I, but I,
learn,
yeah,
go
but
ahead, go ahead.
I'll say this in the defense of the young kids, though. You know, it's easy for us to just pass judgment on the decisions that they make. You know, but unless you know, right from wrong, or have the privilege to see another way, you're not gonna change. You know what I'm saying? And I give you
But
an example.
see,
I'm I, I'm a product of No Child Been Left Behind. You know, I was diagnosed as dyslexia. You know, it was I didn't have the ability to read until I was late. I grew up in a one parent household. I grew up in the hood, some of the worst
right.
hoods
But what
in
did
New
you? I'm
Jersey. You know,
asking, what did you do about
but
it?
but the difference is that I had the privilege to see somebody like my grandmother who worked in corporate America, or if you want to call it corporate America. I saw positive images of Black men growing up, you know. But if I didn't have that privilege, I would probably be a totally different person. I'm the stereotypical person as far as, you know, how I grew up. I should not be where I'm at right now. I shouldn't be
Real
talking
shit.
to you right now. I
Real
should be talking to you from a cell. You get what I'm saying?
Nah, I was that same product. Right.
All of the cards were stacked up for me to go in that direction. But again, since I had the luxury of seeing a different life and seeing right from wrong, if I didn't have that, I would probably be like one of them dudes that's rapping, making drill music, that's reinforcing every negative stereotype of Black men.
But you still got choice, though. At the end of the day, I mean,
Yes, you have choice, but if you don't understand or aware that there are choices, you're gonna keep doing the same thing.
but
If I live, listen,
you
if
got to
I
be
live in a
aware.
hood, now listen, now listen to me. If I live in a hood and all I see is drug addicts and drug dealers, my mind is going to tell me, okay, I don't want to be a drug addict, but maybe I should be a drug dealer because that's all I'm seeing. And then especially when I'm on social media or when I'm looking at television and I'm seeing just negative stereotypes of Black men, or giving me the false image of what a Black man should be, unless I have the ability to see something different, I'm not going to change.
I
I'm
get
not
you.
going to know that there is change. I'm going to assume that, okay, well, this is what social media is saying a Black man is. This is what the news that's saying what a Black man is. This is what movies is telling me what a Black man is. I'm Black, so I guess that's part of me. I guess that's what I should be doing. I guess I don't have a choice. I guess this is just in my DNA. I guess this is just my nature.
You know, I agree, man. I understand what you're saying and taking on, but it's taking more of and like I said, man, real unapologetic. It's taking more of a pussy approach because I get it that we all go through shit. You know what I'm saying? I've been a product of it because my father was homeless. You know what I mean? And I watched him. I used to have to cook Franks and beans for my dad. He'd come to the door. I cooked for him. He was literally homeless. I seen the bottom of the barrel of being broke. You know what I'm saying? Of what somebody not having anything when you say, all right. And my father it wasn't that he was uneducated, it just was bad choice. So in front of me, I was able to see bad choice. And from there, living on 157th Street up in Washington Heights, I had an alert that said, I gotta get out of this. And that's all that my entire time was, whether I went down with your grandma, I went down with your uncle, I went down with that whatever it was I got to get out of this. That was the alert. So I knew it was wrong because I seen things on Fifth Ave. I seen people living on this side of the street going, so I still had the choice. Did I div and dab and run around in the streets? I did for a while. I did the wrong and we all do. But what I feel that these people have is choice. They have choice at the end of the day. Whether you out here, you in a relationship, and you said these guys, they don't know what they're doing, boom. So they're uneducated, whatever, boom. But you know right from wrong. Okay, maybe you might yell at shorty, you grab her up, she grab you, whatever. But you learning, what the fuck? I can't be doing that. You have choice. You can make the wrong decision and then make the right decision. And I think it's a cop out when people go, all right, no child left behind. I get it. But that's also another cop out instead of saying you need to work fucking harder. You know what I'm saying? You got to work harder. You got to push a little more. And I know it can be a little militant and the way that I approach things, but that's what helped me. And I think if that's how I approach to people, to say, look, not to make them bust, like, because pressure busts pipes. You don't want to put that much pressure on them so they explode and bust, but you want to put enough on them. You got to keep reminding them, keep like, yo, get yourself out of this situation. You know what I mean? I know cats that stay in situations because nobody puts the pressure on them. And they know the choice. They know the right. It's just that they don't want to do the right thing because the right thing is the fucking hardest thing. You know what I'm saying? So even though they've been through all the fucked up shit, all that stuff, like you said, being in a single mother house, all that, it's just you don't want to do the shit because it's so hard. It's like, fuck, yo, nah, man. Dude to tell you, yo, I can put you through school right now. 4 years, you got this program. I help you. I just, boom. Nah, yo, they got excuse after excuse. That's a choice. Excuse is a choice. So at the end of the day, you can get out of this shit. I get it. You go through shit. I've been there. I could tell all kind of shit, but I don't want to put people shit out there. But I've been around shit, seen people shooting up heroin. They mother was my babysitters. I seen this shit, but I wanted out because it was a choice. Like, yo, I don't want to be doing this shit. This ain't right. So at the end of the day, I get it. But these kids have to understand you have a choice. Don't just sit there and go, I'm stuck in this position. No, you will not. Just like you got that position, you can get another position. You can move and be like, yo, I'm in this position. I'm going to move over this way. You don't got to stay on that fucking side. It's like with in the Bible. And I always bring this because I read the Bible, and regardless of what our religion is, Jesus didn't stop. He was fishing on the same boat. He just told him to go to the other side. That's it. Go to the other side of the boat. Like, he's like, hey, no fishing there. He was like, just go to the other side. And that's what we have to do in life, man, is look to the other side. Whatever you've been doing, if it ain't working for you, then look at the other fucking side of this shit, man. That's it. There's another side to it, and it's called choice. And people got to understand that. Like, we fuck up. I get it. We all fuck up. We all fuck up, but we have to realize we all have choice, man.
I completely agree with you. Everybody's different, but we cannot ignore the fact that experiences is life-changing. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people won't even think to get out of the ghetto unless they go to their rich uncle's house. You know what I'm saying? And realize, oh, I can do this too. I can do that. But we have to be honest, like, a positive image does wonders. It does wonders. But guess what? Some people, they don't need that additional image. Sometimes people just change because of pain and bad experiences. Some people are unable to get out of their slump in their negative situation until they can see a positive one. Everybody's different. But what I'm saying is what worked for me was seeing positive images of people who looked like me.
No doubt. No. That's real. That's real. I respect that, man. I definitely respect that. That's 100 all the way. And it's a different perspective to my view, because I was, your uncle, these motherfuckers hung me out the window, man. Like, real shit. Real shit. Yeah, real shit. So I got hung out the window. So there was no other level to being scared to bungee jump when you out the window and you like a kid, and it's all that fear shit is out of you because people put you through different fears. That I've seen rats the size of chihuahuas in my house, like coming up a hole and shit. So there was no fear. That shit, it broke all of that barrier of fear away from me. So it's to the point where it was like, fuck that. I'm good. I'm gonna get out of this. So I get your view on it, man. CJ, I get your view on it because you're right. Everybody doesn't have that, like you said, that positive image, or the people who are going to put them through fear, so they're never afraid of anything else. Real and unapologetic, they got to stop pussyfooting. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of cats be pussyfooting. That
was the point. That was the point I was going to make. Is that, you know what? You don't necessarily need that positive image. You don't necessarily need that rich uncle to show you, you know, the another way or a so-called better way. But people have to realize the power is within them, you know, and it's whether or not you are willing to go through those trials and tribulations. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I was coming up, I used to, I'm amazed sometimes that I'm still here some of the shit I used to do. Okay, but at a certain point, I was just like, you know what, this ain't right. I gotta stop this. I gotta stop this. If I want to have X, Y, and Z, if I want to be alive to see X, Y, and Z, this has to stop. And you know what? It takes balls to do it. And most people don't have the balls to do it. Most people are going to take the easy way out. And the easy way out is just to do what's expected, what everybody thinks you're going to do, or everybody says, oh, well, he ain't going to be nothing but this. That's easy to do that. But when you just come out and be like, yo, that's it, I'm done, you're going to catch flack. I caught flack from my friends. All right, friends that used to be like, yo, you used to be down to do this. What's up, man? You turning soft on us, but you got to stand up. You can't let them trying to constantly bring you down. It's a struggle. You climbing up the mountain, but now you got 10 niggas on your back trying to pull you back down. You got to keep going. You can't stop because in your mind, you just said, you know what? I'm not with this no more. And you got to be able to, it comes from within you. You got to be the one who say, all right, I'm going to take whatever they dish out. If they're going to beat me down because I'm not down with them no more, I'm going to take that and I'm going to keep on moving. If they're going to come and beat me up again because I'm not down with them, I'm going to keep on going. I'm not going to give in to that. So a lot of that shit comes from within. And like I said, nowadays, especially these young cats, these millennials are always going to take the easy way out. You know, they're not going to try and cut through the jungle and make a new path. They're just going to follow the path that everybody else they're on. They're just going to keep going that way, keep going that way.
Right.
It takes balls, it takes heart to decide, fuck that. I understand cats is in gangs and whatnot, but yo, we had gang pressure back in the day too. We didn't call them gangs, we called them crews. You know,
right.
But you better be down with this nigga. I'm not down with no crew. Fuck you and fuck that crew. I ain't down with either one of y'all. Right. But if you ain't have the balls to say that, and you was just gonna be like, I'll pick one because that's what I'm expected to do.
Peer pressure.
No, just to piggyback over what C said, I completely agree with you. But again, you know, the key word that you said was you don't necessarily. You know what I'm saying? And what that means is, yes, I agree. Necessarily, you don't. But it does help. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying.
I'm agreeing with you, but I'm just saying that sometimes, even though you see cats who do have the positive image in their life, but they still take the easy way out because the guy.
Yeah, listen.
So what about that cat? DJ, let me ask you that. People, what about the cat that has it paid? He has it made where somebody's gonna help him. He got the positive image, and he's still choosing the wrong way.
Let me tell you something. First of all, those people I do not subscribe to and they do not represent me. Those are losers to me.
I'm going to keep it simple. It's the reason that there is no code nowadays is because I don't want to say hood niggas are becoming the real niggas. Hood niggas are becoming extinct, but that's kind of happening because everybody kind of sees the glamorizing of the hood lifestyle, like niggas toting guns and music videos, and people want to be like that, so they just gonna take as many shortcuts as they can to get to it. And I saw this a lot in my high school because where I went to high school, it was like the best way I can explain it was hood adjacent at most. It was like we not in the hood at all, but you had niggas walking around like, yo, I'm the realest nigga in this school, yeah, throwing up blood, throwing up script, like you got UGG boots on. There's no hood niggas wearing UGG boots out here. So it's like everybody's just flaking and perpetrating.
Marco, man, no, that's real. That's real. That is, yeah, definitely. We kind of shot at this, man, on episode 2, but we want to hear as far as when it comes to the new school, mainly their perspective on politics and the current Black experience. So I'm gonna start off with you, CJ.
In life, in politics is just searching for the truth. I just want the honest truth, and I may give honest answers. So I'm gonna go ahead and start. So apparently, Joe Biden signed an executive order to give Asian Americans benefits for experienced racism because of COVID. Not one executive order was made for Black folks at all. So what I want to ask is, anybody who decided to vote for Biden, how do you feel?
See, no, I feel personally, I don't give a shit. Biden, it's not, yeah. So as far as Biden or anybody, if I don't feel them, I don't vote. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a Republican or a Democrat thing for me. It's more of a who fits the bill. You know what I mean? It wasn't about getting Trump out. I'm not one of those blacks where you be like, yo, let's get Trump out. I don't care who's in fucking office. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
All right. So all right. So let me just say this.
Yeah.
So we understand the state that Black people are in America right now.
Right.
We understand that. We're aware of that. You know what I'm saying? We understand the senseless killings of Black folks by the hands of police. We understand that.
Right.
So you would agree with me, and I'm asking you, would you agree with me that specific things are happening specifically to Black people in America?
Yeah.
Okay, so I would then assume that you would agree that something specific needs to happen to Black folks, right? I mean, something specific needs to happen for Black folks to combat our experience, right? Our negative experience.
No, I don't.
Explain.
I believe, and this is right. I believe that we have to do a lot of the work. We as Black people have to do a lot of work. We keep waiting on something to happen. It's never going to happen. And we're going to. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so we haven't been doing the work?
No. Not as a whole. Not as a whole. I don't feel as a whole.
Okay, so let me ask you, what haven't we done?
Work. You send me heavy work.
At the very least. Oh yeah, of course. But what I'm saying is that
you was Spike Lee.
I don't fuck. I like his movies, but he done did some coolish shit.
Nah, so I know.
He's on my shit list.
I know.
What I'm saying is that we have to be real about our honest situation.
Right.
Okay. Biden and Kamala, Black folks just voted Biden and Kamala in, regardless of their history. And on top of that, it's just like the sense that Black folks have when it comes to politics. You would be more strenuous on hiring somebody to move boxes for you than the same amount of strenuous and tediousness that you would look into the people's backgrounds that we elect into the White House. My thing is that Biden and Kamala just got into office, and just the other day, a 9-year-old girl that has suicidal tendencies just got maced in the face by police. And there's no talk about that from the White House. Nobody's bringing that up. But you know what? I didn't vote for the nigga. I'm asking the people who did.
I didn't vote for me, but what I'm saying is
now hold on. My thing is, you already agreed that something specific has been done to Black folks. Now I think you also agree that something specific needs to happen for Black folks. Disagree?
I don't agree with. I believe that we need to do something ourselves.
Work. You send me heavy work.
All right, well, let me say this. Every group in this country has gotten something specific for their group. The only people that has never gotten anything specific for their group is Black folks.
George Bush doesn't care about Black people.
But you already know.
No, hold on one second. Hold on, let me say something. There is nothing worth having that Black folks have ever gotten from voting. Anything that was worth having always came from fighting for.
Right.
Okay.
That's why I said that.
Now I know America always likes to shed a light on Dr. King and that whole nonviolent movement, but that was bullshit. because they killed that nigga too, and he was nonviolent. The thing that changed, what changed people's minds to let up off of black folks, is the deacons of defense. Okay, the people that was in church, but they had them 9mm waiting for somebody's ass. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And my thing is that I believe that something specific needs to happen for black people because something specific is happening to us.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
And my thing is, I for the life of me, I cannot understand black folks that chose to vote for Kamala and Biden when Kamala her damn self said she ain't gonna do nothing that's only gonna benefit black people. No, that's what she said. Biden said he didn't support reparations. And not only that, Biden was responsible for writing up the 94 crime bill, where he also bragged about passing adding things to that bill that allowed people to be executed.
CJ, we had this conversation, and I'm just going to rehash our conversation because the viewers haven't heard it before. But you know what? I'm gonna start from the beginning. Yeah, I voted for Biden and Kamala. I voted for them to get that orange motherfucker out the office.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Let
me finish. You spoke, all right? I voted for them specifically to get that orange motherfucker out of office. Okay. Hit on your second point when you say, yeah, he wrote up that crime bill, but we asked for that crime bill and we weren't specific enough. Okay, yeah, crack was destroying our neighborhoods. Yes, they put the cocaine and stuff into our neighborhoods, but then when we just asked, get rid of the crack by any means necessary. We didn't give them a specific plan. We just said, hey, can you get this crack out of here? So now they made crack worse than somebody selling 20 bricks of cocaine, right? They came up with all these mandatory laws if you dealing drugs or if you had drug paraphernalia and all of that. But all we did was ask them to get the crack out.
Right. It wasn't
get
specific.
The crack out of our neighborhoods, but we also need this, and this. It's like, imagine you move into a house that a white person owns, but now that white person decides, I want my house back, so I'm gonna try and make this place unlivable for you. So he comes in and he dumps hundreds of rats up into your crib while you're not there. You come home, you see all of these rats, and you're like, yo, I can't live like this, man. I can't live like this. Yo, man, you got to come get these rats out of my crib. And he come over and burn down your shit. He got the rats out. You didn't ask him how to do it, but he got them fucking rats out for you. But are you happy with the results? Absolutely not. But that's because you wasn't specific. And we did not learn how to be specific in what we asked for. We just like, because we always looking for somebody to come help us. So if I say,
that's the shit I'm talking about, CJ, right there.
Come help me, okay? You're not giving me specific help that you need. If you say, Uncle, I need some help. My foot is caught. Now, if I look at it and I'll be like, okay, well, the easy way to get this out of here is to cut your foot off. I got you out of your predicament, but it ain't with the results that you wanted or expected. And that's what we learned. You got to forget, we spent more time as slaves than we have being free. Okay, let me say that again. As Black people, we have spent more time as slaves than being free. Do we have a lot of catching up to do? Absolutely. Absolutely. But we have to start taking initiative also. We can't be just like, come help me, and then get pissed off that the results is not what we want. We got to start being, look, yes, we should have done this a long time ago. If you want my vote, I want this in writing that you're going to do this.
Right.
We've never done that before. And now I think we may be on the verge of starting to see the power of the vote. Now we might have to start holding our ballots hostage. But like I told Reef in the other episode, you know what? If Biden comes in and he's not doing what we want him to do,
You got to hit
we
the
can
right.
take to the streets again. Just like we voted Trump out, we can take to the streets again and vote him out.
Go ahead,
Because I want to respond back to everything that you said, and I'm going to try to remember everything that you said. But, and this is with all due respect, I just think it's just a little. All right, I'm just. There's no way you can hold somebody accountable when they told you they're not going to do anything specific for you, and you chose to vote them in anyway. You wouldn't have to take to the streets if you made sure that they were going to do what you wanted before you gave them your vote.
And again,
there would be no hold on. There would be no need to go to the streets. Why? Because when you voted for them and you decided to put them in office, you should have already been getting what you were supposed to get. Every other group does that but Black folks. Now I want to go back to what you said when you talked about the 94 crime bill. Now, again, why did we ask for the 94 crime bill?
Again, because crack was ravaging our city.
Okay. Now, how did the crack get into the Black neighborhoods?
I told you, they put it in there. They put it in there.
So that's all the more reasons as to why you can't even trust these politicians, because they're sneaky.
But that's both sides, though.
Now, hold on one second. They'll put the drugs in the community,
right?
And then they'll say, oh, I know that they want me to get it out. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do some slick shit, and I'm going to make sure that I write up this 94 crime bill to lock everybody up. When are we going to be honest about that situation and understand that all of this is planned?
It is planned, but I'm
asking you this. This is by your own admission.
I just need to know. I need to let the audience know something real quick. I need to let them know. So, are you a Republican?
I'm none of it. I don't fuck with that bird.
Okay,
I don't fuck with
so
the left or
you
the
flying
right.
like how you flying like how I fly. So you flying like right. So that's why I told you.
And then also too. C, you also said that you gonna hold your vote. I was talking about that's what we need to do. We need to use that as a strategy. We have to. But people still chose to go
look at what our choices was. Why should I hold my vote? If I held my vote, it would keep that orange motherfucker in office.
So
I wanted him out.
Right.
I wanted that motherfucker out.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
DJ is a method to the madness. You know what I mean?
No, it's just madness.
There is.
It's just madness.
It's just madness, but it's a method to get out to rid the madness.
No. It's just madness. Now, let me ask you this question. What policy did Donald Trump make that disproportionately affected Black folks? I'll wait.
By increasing taxes on the lower half and decreasing taxes for the bigger half. That trickle-down shit don't work.
Hold up. Now, let me say this, because you just took me to a point that I wasn't even expecting to get into. But if you want to talk about taxes, let's go ahead and talk about taxes. First of all, you do understand if they tax the rich. Now, hold on one second, because you just took me to another thing. But I got you. First of all, you do understand, right?
Look, this is real unapologetic. Go ahead, man.
It's either the rich is going to get taxed or the poor is going to get taxed. Now, I know everybody always say, oh, like they need to tax the rich. They need to tax the rich. Hey, I agree with you. I 1000% agree with you. But let's be honest about our situation. Because if you rich and you live in a city or a town and they saying, yo, we're going to increase your taxes, guess what? You have the economic means to pick your shit up and move someplace else where you can pay less taxes. And guess who's going to take the brunt of those taxes? Poor people. So it's just like it's a double-edged sword. Regardless, you're gonna get taxed regardless. Now again, and also too, you said taxes. Taxes is affected by everybody. Everybody's affected by taxes. So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Well, who should be paying that fair share?
Hold on one second. And I agree with you. And I'm telling you, I agree with you. But again, taxes affects everybody. So again, I'm gonna ask you, what policy did Donald Trump make that disproportionately affected Black people?
Look, but that's the point. Why does it have to disproportionately affect black people?
Because the old saying always is you got to pick the lesser of two evils. And if I'm gonna be honest about it, Trump was the lesser of two evils because he didn't make no policies that disproportionately affected black folks. But guess what? Biden did.
You know what? Wait, no, I gotta say this. Okay, you saying, okay, you agree that proportionately we got more poor blacks, right? Poor. If you black, a lot of times you are poor, right? Now let me ask this question. Let me ask.
Go ahead. Let him go.
Let me ask this question.
Hold on one second.
If you got an extra $1,000 or $2,000 coming out your check every year, who's that going to affect most? A poor person or a rich person?
Of course, it's going to affect a poor person. But my argument was, I said, what policy did Donald Trump make that disproportionately affected black folks? When we talk about taxes, everybody is affected by that. Now, I know you also,
but more blacks.
Now, hold on 1 second. I know you also asked me. You said that majority of black folks is poor. I'm gonna, for the sake of the conversation, I'm gonna agree with you, but I don't know that to be as fact. But for sake of conversation, I'm going to agree with you. But still, taxes is affected by every racial group. Okay. When I said specifically to black folks, what policies has Trump done that has disproportionately affected black people?
Okay, so you don't think lessening the funding for HBCUs doesn't affect black people?
First of all, when we talk about them HBCUs, it's not just black Americans that's going.
No, you asked me to understand. Policy. Are there more black people in HBCUs than white people?
Let me finish. Yo, you still there?
You answered the question. You asked me one policy that affected proportionately more black people than white people. So you telling me that cutting off funding to HBCUs does not affect more black people than white people?
You saying Trump cut funding to HBCUs? That's not true.
Yes, it is true.
No, it's not. Not. Actually, he gave extra money to HBCUs just so that they don't have to come back every few years. He actually increased the amount of money that he gave to HBCUs. So that's not true.
Look at that bill again. The bill again.
You said look at the bill again?
Look at the bill again. He gave them more money. He gave them more money on the front end, but over the long term, no. If the funding is cut. So look at the bill again. It's like somebody saying, you know what? It's like somebody saying, you know what? You can either take $150,000 now, or you can take, if I pay you monthly, you will get $250,000. You got more money up front, but in the long term, no, it's not. It doesn't work.
I don't know about that. But as far as I know,
and I'm telling you, don't listen to what the news says. I'm telling you to actually go into the bill. I'm telling you to go into the bill and look.
Yes, and I have, and I do. I do not take what the media tells me for face value. I go research. Even when the news media or even the president tells me something specific, I still go back and look into it. I still do that. But like he actually increased the amount of money he gave to HBCUs just so that they don't have to come back every few years.
Look at guys, we need to. No. We need to.
I know. About this HBCU
listen.
Bullshit.
We going no.
I was about to break out the popcorn. Good.
No, we're gonna come back to this. But we gotta keep our viewers entertained. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure they was entertained. That was a heated discussion, man. So I want to roll into the fuck up of the day, man. Who was the fuck up of the day?
Damn, I was gonna say Lil Uzi Vert too, because why put that diamond in his head?
I won't stay alive, yeah.
Yo, like
Oh yeah, what the fuck was that?
Yeah,
That
you
was
put the diamond in the center of his head.
that was the fuck up of the day. You right.
Yo, you know what I? Go ahead, Uncle
You see
Chef.
that shit, man? What
You
the fuck is he talking?
you know what I just see? A young nigga with too much money.
It's
That
all
shit
funny.
was
Somebody
much that
up
shit,
on that nigga with a scalpel.
bro.
With a gun.
That shit,
Like, yo, I'm gonna need that diamond off you.
That's crazy.
bro. That shit was $24 million.
Why would you put a diamond in your center of your brain, though,
You know
man?
why? You know why? Because you know with rapping, it's all about ego and it's all about outdoing the next one. So Sauce Walker, he's a rapper from out of the South, I believe. And what he did was he got a diamond teardrop.
Right.
He was like the first one to do it. So then here come Lil Uzi Vert. He went and got this medallion right in the middle of his fucking forehead. But the crazy thing is, he had just posted on Twitter. I guess like the shit just started bleeding out of nowhere. He was just like, yo, the doctor said if I don't get this removed right now, he could die. So it's crazy. But bro,
he woke up to that 24 million. That's what happened.
$24 million.
That's what happened. It wasn't bleeding. Then nigga looked at his bank account, was like, yo,
that's and that fucking 24 million is gone. What the fuck am I thinking?
You know, UPS won't. If you ship a diamond ring, UPS, they will not insure it. Because the value of the diamond is only the value that a person
is willing to put into. Just like art. Like art. Yeah.
They will not. Like the maximum if you ship a diamond UPS, the max that they'll insure it for is $100.
In my mind, I'm thinking, I'm just like, yo, what if you put a shirt on and that shit snag?
Right.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh, that shit in the middle of your head. What the fuck is wrong with these?
It's just like pointless. You got to be so careful, bro. Like you washing your face and then it snag on a washcloth. It's just like, come on, man. That's just.
He said it snagged, right? Much, yeah, nah. That's way too much. So that's the fuck up of the day right there, man. Yeah, what's his name? I don't even know these fucking rappers' names.
Lil Uzi Vert and Sauce Walker.
We got this Enact Fire earbud. So I've got my pair off of Amazon. Yo, these joints is the real deal. Noise canceling, waterproof. You get at least 8 hours. But I started out with the E60s, and yo, I had one complaint, and this was like after maybe a year and a half. The left earbud, the volume went down, and I couldn't get it back up. Yo, customer service is on point. I contacted them. They was like, okay, we'll do this. Maybe clean it with some alcohol. They gave me a couple of things to do. I tried all of them. I was like, nah, it didn't work. It's still not, the volume in the left earbud is still low. 3 days later, I got a new pair.
Boom.
So, yo,
that's dope.
They got the aptX technology in it. Like I said, they noise canceling, they waterproof, they stay in your ears. I go on the treadmill in the gym, on the rower in the gym. I'll never have to worry about them falling out. And yo, you know, a lot of times these earbuds, you can't get that bass right.
Mm-hmm, the bass, right.
The bass is right. The bass is nice in them.
All right.
Enact Fire on Amazon. Check them out.
Get them white joints out, man. We need some.
I'm in that Apple ecosystem, man. I love Apple, man. I can't front, but I'll test out them damn headphones, man. Because
test them out.
These AirPods, man, they don't be holding no battery life, bro.
Yeah.
Now we've seen it.
I said, I ran the show 8 hours one day. I've taken them out my ear, and when you put them in, they automatically start charging. There's nothing you have to do. When you take them out, they automatically connect to your device. And yo, I left them out with my phone nearby. I left them out like probably overnight after running them for like about 4 hours. And when I put them on the next morning, still had charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we going to them Enacts and getting away from them apples, because them apples had about 30 minutes charge, man.
Oh man, these joints, man. I done had to take these joints and charge them for a hot second like 4 times already.
Yeah, we gotta get out.
And still right now only one is working.
The only thing right on the Apple joints is the price. The price is right.
That's why they got 200 billion in cash.
Real shit. You're gonna get the real news here, and you're gonna hear it the way that it should be heard, instead of hearing it from fucking the media that bullshits and lies to you. So I'm gonna let C tell you the current news of the day.
Yeah, my current news of the day is this motherfucker Chad Wheeler. Now, every single time a black athlete puts his hand on a woman, every time a black athlete gets stopped for a DUI, every time a black athlete does something against the norms, the media grabs hold of it and they never let it go. So, with this cat, Chad Wheeler, a white football player, he played for the Giants. I actually got a picture with this motherfucker one time.
You want to share that? We want to share that picture, or we go?
Nah, because I'm shaking his hand, and I don't want to be.
We can share that picture. Show you shaking hands with his ass.
No. Last
But
thing I need for all
I
women on
want this shit to stay out in view as long as they keep black athletes news out in view. Let's get into the details of what this kid did. Okay?
No doubt.
Fucking Chad Wheeler, and what the media is not telling you. Okay? Now, when a black athlete attacks a white woman, you hear that shit. You hear that shit. So-and-so who was white, or his white girlfriend, Chad Wheeler's girlfriend is black. Chad Wheeler attacked, and I'm going to say viciously and brutally attacked this black woman because she refused to bow to him. He demanded that she bow to him. Okay, and she refused. He then proceeded to lift her up. And you know what? I think there should be a law for athletes who are trained, because he's an offensive lineman. So he's trained in techniques to lift people and move people around and take control of people. He should get added time because he used those skills against a, if you want to say, innocent person or a civilian. He then proceeded to slam her on the bed and choke her out until she lost consciousness. Not once, but twice. And he choked her with such force that he ruptured the capillaries in the back of her throat. He twisted her arm so violently that she dislocated her elbow and separated her shoulder and broke her arm. Do you know how much force it takes to twist somebody's arm like that? Okay? Another point, if this was a black athlete and they were called to the residence, you would have the police body cam videos all over the news. There is not one. The only picture they have are pictures that they took of her in the hospital, which does not show the total extent of her damage. Okay? If it was a black athlete, it would have been all over the news for months. Okay? And again, as soon as it didn't even hit the news as soon as it happened. It took 4 days for this shit to hit the news. 4 days. And what did they come out with? Immediately protecting Chad Wheeler. And when I say protecting, they're giving excuses for why he did it. Okay?
Yeah. Well, that's protecting their entire image.
He was bipolar. He stopped taking his medication.
Right.
Fuck that. You wouldn't do the same thing for a black athlete. No, all you would do, and let's listen to this. This cat is 6'7", 320 pounds. She is 5'9", 140 pounds. So he's almost a whole foot taller than her and outweighs about 200 pounds. Now imagine if a black guy did that to a white woman, how it would sound on the news.
I'm with it, see, but we already, and I'm being real, man, it's fucked up. This is white America. And we've been living in white America, and this is just how they do. They shit don't ever go in the paper. They don't put it out there. And it's a point where we got to stop getting upset and start taking more action. We got to stop getting upset and getting in our emotions and take more action, because that's what they do. They keep us, they know that that's why they did the shit. And I'm not saying that it was another prefabricated story as far as the issue that happened, but as far as the cover up, they do that shit, man, because they know it keeps us in our emotions. It It's no different than the shit that happened at the Capitol. It kept us in our emotions. Like, look what's going on, Confederate flags. It's all about keeping us in our fucking emotions to keep us under. And this is where I feel as blacks, we have to fucking empower ourselves and each other to be like, look, yeah, that's fucked up. We not gonna play that. We're not playing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Be by her, and you know, we be by her side. And on top of that shit, not just only being by her side, but we gotta stop putting ourselves in the news. I get it. He's a white athlete. He did the shit. It's wrong. That's the white privilege. You can't turn around and let there be a black fucking athlete doing the same shit. And you know, we know how white America.
All I'm asking is for fair treatment.
No doubt. No doubt.
As vociferously as you report on a black person doing something to a white woman, you do the same thing when a white man viciously and brutally attacks a black
woman, no doubt.
Come at him just as hard as you would come at us.
But see, again, it's our people not doing it, meaning we're saying something right now, real unapologetic, but nobody else is saying anything. So what they do when they see the shit go on, if it was a black athlete, every fucking body says, look, we got to get that nigga out of here. He can't be playing on the fucking team. For that white guy, nobody's saying shit. Nobody's like, hey, nobody's saying shit. They just want to watch the fucking Super Bowl come this week. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's it.
Just like we went out there and protested with the George Floyd thing, we need to do the same thing.
But we don't do it. Well,
exactly.
Shit. And it's our fault because we overlook their shit. We always overlook it. You know what I'm saying? That's our fault. So I get it. It's fucked up. It's wrong. But that's what I say. Blacks need to start we got to start being reactive and acting on shit instead of just going, yo, once it gets really bad, that's when we fucking jump up. But we got to start saying something like you said, when y'all were talking about the bills and shit, we're not specific. We don't, the football's fucking shit coming up. She probably did some shit. He was drinking. Fuck it. We relate to it instead of saying, nah, that shit's wrong. Me personally, I'm fucking desensitized to white America, the shit that they do. I've desensitized myself where I'm like, all right, this is what they fucking do. I'm not going to be in my emotions to get caught up in their shit. So, yeah, you're right. We need to talk about it. The shit's fucked up. It's wrong. We need to handle it the old school way. Fuck his ass up. That's real shit. You know, take it to the street. Fuck him up. Real shit. And they'll stop doing that shit. I don't agree with that shit, man. But at the same time, this is white America we in. We have to understand this is how fucked up it is, man. CJ, what you think, man? Because I know I'm gonna call you Mr. Political from now on.
If I'm gonna be honest about it,
that's all we are on here, man. Honest, that's it. No disclaimers, man, on this shit. When you get on here, no fucking disclaimers.
Sounds like something specific is happening to black people, so something specific needs to be done for black people.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I like that. That's shots fired. I got to. Shots fired. No doubt. I'm with you. That's real shit. Paco, what you think, man?
Honestly, that what I was like. Honestly, you as a man, if you put your hands on a woman, that's just straight up bitch shit. Because let's be real, like the only people who put hands on women are usually other women. So therefore, if you're a man and you do that, you just a bitch at that point. You not even. We can't even consider you a woman at that point. You just a straight up bitch. It's like if you gonna put your hands on a woman like that, you gotta be prepared to fight her brother's father all day. That's how it should be.
That was the current news of the day, man. And we're gonna close out. And I want us each to give our audience possible solutions to everything that's been discussed. So we're gonna start with you, CJ.
I guess all I have to say is if you're gonna vote with a purpose, because everybody else is.
That's it for all the fucking. That's it. That's where you at. All right, I'm with you. That's your boy CJ right there, man. Go ahead, Paco.
Anxiety and depression. I guess honestly, all you gotta do, just don't give a fuck about what nobody else think. That's what helped me the most, because my personality was based around, are people gonna accept me? So it's like what you gotta do is you just gotta be like, look, if they don't like me, I don't give a like. Now I think if they don't like me, I don't give a fuck. That's the personal problem they got to figure out. So it's just like, ain't my problem if they don't like me or not.
No doubt. All right, there you go. That was Paco right there. C, what's your take on the show tonight?
Hey, as far as old school and new school, we got to realize that you know, the old school has a lot of knowledge and stuff to pass down, but the new school just got to be willing to be open-minded and, you know, kind of accept it, you know, or reach out to us for help instead of reaching out to the internet. You know,
right.
If you don't understand, you know, like I said, probably all the stuff you ever thought about doing, we probably already did, Reef. You know?
Yeah, real shit.
Yes, absolutely. The rise in the internet, yo, you know what? We know what the internet is doing. Now it's up to the parents. You got to control that shit. Like you said, you got limits on your phone to cut it off after a certain amount of time.
Right.
Yo, you paying that kid's phone bill. Shut that shit down.
Right.
Down after a certain time, you know? And, you know, it's easy. We all was a consensus here. Old school had the better music. All right?
I agree.
We reached that consensus. All right. And as far as the dating scene, yo, guys, go out, get face to face with a girl. Stop playing that soft ass shit and hiding behind. Oh, I'll swipe and wait for her to swipe right, and maybe we can hook up. You gotta be a lion. All right, you gotta go out for the hunt.
No doubt. You gotta be a fucking lion. No doubt.
You gotta hunt. If you want it, go after it. All right. And the code, we gotta get the code back, man. We gotta get the code back. And that's all there is to say about that, man. And as far as politics, you all know my stand on politics. All of them motherfuckers up in there is crooks. Black, women, all of them. If you up in there, if you up in the Capitol, either in the Senate or Congress or any cabinet seats, you a crook. And I'm gonna stand by that. You a crook. You done did some crooked shit to get there, and you doing crooked shit to stay there.
No doubt.
All right. So it's up to us. We got the power.
DJ, this is the closing, baby. We can't. I see your face. I see the smile.
All right, I'm good. I'm
got the power. The people should have the power, and y'all got to remember that. Without the people, none of this shit runs. Okay?
No doubt.
Let's get it right. None of this shit runs without the people. And if the people would grow some balls and just be like, you know what? We need to take our power back. Nobody go to
keep going. Go ahead.
Sacrifice and shut their shit down so that they can understand the power has been misplaced, but we want it back now. And that's all I got to say.
I agree with you. And I agree with you.
Man, let's just get the new school and the old school together. We get the old school and new school together, man. It's a powerful force, man. You know, us guys that's up there in age, man, we need some of that youth to come up and reinvigorate us, man, and get us pumped up again. All right, because we kind of getting worn down now. We need some of y'all to come up and be like, yo, we got this. Put your arm around us and let's get together.
Remember this, nobody's perfect. We all imperfect. So that's we got hella lot in common because we all are imperfect. And to the millennials, when you see an OG and you headed his way in his direction and you got a problem, reach out, man, or stop. Just ask the OG, be like, yo, can we sit down? Can we talk? Can we chat? You know what I'm saying? Whatever, if it's about dating or work or just life. And remember, there's no app that's gonna help you through life. So that's why you got to come to your OGs. You know what I'm saying? There's no app that's gonna help you through life, man. So, you know, reach out to one of your OGs, reach out to family, man. And again, this is the Real and Unapologetic Podcast.
Cut.